Good afternoon. This is Kamala Tamirisa. I'm one of the EP physicians from Dallas, Texas, and I'm here from American Heart Association in Chicago. And today I'm going to highlight a wonderful colleague and a physician. I'm a fan of her, so I wanted to highlight her talents and skills. This is Dr. Melissa Robinson, and she just moved to Montana.
Missoula, Montana, yep.
And tell us more about yourself. Where did you start? And
Yes, this really is just about me. Okay. I guess I got my start at UCSF. So there's a lot of UCSF folks here at AHA. And that was medical school. And then I did residency at UC Davis. Uma Srivatsa joined the practice while I was there. But I did my EP training at Penn, which really solidified my skill set for VT. It was really the reason I went. And also for ACHD. Gary Webb was the director of the ACHD program at the time there. Really strong program and strong foundation. When I came out, I was here in Chicago for a little bit and then got recruited to the University of Washington, where I was for just about a decade, and really did a ton of VT and a lot of ACHD. And being at a larger center and a center that had that geographic presence in the Pacific Northwest was really a boon for me to see the whole variety of VT and the challenges, and getting to know colleagues across the country who are also doing this work, which is sometimes abandoned even in large EP practices.
And that's the very reason I wanted to just have you as the guest here, and wanted to talk about women in EP who are experts in the VT space. And there are very few of us there, and you're one of the leaders. How do you, just for those younger trainees who want to pursue your career path in VT, could you give just an overview how to set up a VT program, and how do you build a program?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I do think you build the program on your skill set. So it's important to choose your training program. I don't think I could have specialized in VT coming out of just any program, just because I like VT. It was really seeing tons of cases and having that confidence. The first job that I took actually here in Chicago, I really couldn't do a lot of VT. We didn't have the other services that you need: cardiac anesthesia, heart failure, and I had some limitations in the lab. So even though I came out of training with that skill set, I didn't put it into full use for a few years, and that's okay. Those of us who've been out for more than 10 years, we're doing hardly anything the same as when we were trained. We have PFA, we have cryo, we have subcutaneous devices, EV-ICD, like nothing's the same. So the idea that you're only going to get that strength and knowledge just from training, that's naive. You have to be at meetings, you have to be talking to colleagues, you have to be keeping up, and you have to be challenging yourself to put your approaches out there in one way or another. I do a lot of speaking. I don't do a lot of writing, honestly. I'm not the one that you're going to see in the journals all the time, but I think it's important to put your cases out there and to discuss them and have people be giving you feedback in the way that an audience can do. So that was one thing. When you set up a VT program, you set it up slowly, which is weird because it's a fast arrhythmia, but you set it up slowly. You make slow moves. You start small. You start with a small team, a couple techs that are comfortable. You focus on a couple mappers, maybe a couple anesthesiologists or CRNAs, and you get some people on your team. I'm not saying you can pick and choose cases, because when a VT storm comes in, you got to do it. But you start by educating a few people and getting them enthusiastic. You need to manage yourself. And those of you who've worked with me may be laughing a little on the inside, but we all have to learn to manage ourselves in these cases. They are stressful cases. The patients are sick, and you're demanding of your colleagues in those cases, so you need to support them outside of the lab and help their education get up there, help them feel comfortable, help them start to see the patterns that you're seeing so that you can move more efficiently in the lab. That's how you get the outcomes that you're looking for, and that's how you keep patients safe during a procedure.
A lot of key points to, just unload there. And but thank you. I'm just thinking for myself, I've done EP just like you, for a long time. But setting up VT, ablating VT, you need that expertise and experience. And you gave a lot of good key take-home points for the young fellows who want to go into that VT field. And one more question for the mid-career veteran. You made that change at this stage of your career path, and a lot of us are very comfortable with where we are, and change is always scary or uncomfortable. Could you comment on, give some pros?
I decided to leave my position, and I've moved to Providence Health Institute. So I'm part of a larger organization, but at a relatively small campus. I have to say I've moved around a bunch. We all have for training. It is harder once you have kids. My husband's a heart failure doctor, so it's always we're matching two jobs, but two very compatible jobs, VT ablationist and heart failure doctor. I think change can be scary, but change also means you get out of all your usual routines. And when you reestablish new routines, it's a lot easier to stop doing the stuff that was a waste of time, stop doing the stuff that you didn't enjoy, but you'd maybe gotten very efficient at. So for me, it's been really fun over these last 2 months that I've been there to reevaluate how I take care of patients across the spectrum of arrhythmias, not just VT, device patients, AFib patients. Can we revamp systems to be as efficient as possible? Can I use the resources of my whole team, nurses, techs, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, to really help with that? So yeah, it can be scary, but it can be an opportunity to really make leaps in your career and in your mindset towards work. This is also work and not just a career, and kind of make those efficiencies. I'll make that point again. Actually, all of us do a job. We all have a job and we do work. And then there's also your career. And for a lot of us, that's completely overlapped. But for some of us, our career is bigger than our individual job. And I think that's something that some of us forget. And that's why coming to these big meetings or meeting with lovely colleagues reminds you that we're part of a bigger community than your individual job. And you can make scary moves, I guess, when you feel supported across the community.
Well said. And, I think just to wrap it up, I would like all of us to remember that she did mention, she's married to another physician and she has children. So as women in EP, we are able to do it, and we're both in mid-career. And these are some of the stories that we can share and inspire others. And welcome to our channel here. And I always talk about see me and be me. And this is the purpose of doing this. Thank you so much for this platform.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.